Hi, everybody. Neil with the FICA podcast and also Poly by Design. Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that a lot of us are aware of and somebody who's pretty much an expert on it. We have Mona Uli here, and she's going to tell us who she works for, which is short the Alliance.
The Alliance, which is the American Samoa Alliance Against Domestic and Sexual Violence.
I think that's pretty awesome that we have a program like that here in American Samoa. How long have you been doing this?
I've been here about 4 years. Yeah.
And what is your role?
So I'm a program staff here at the Alliance.
And how did you get involved? I mean, I know we knew each other from San Francisco for many years, and then all of a sudden I hear you're living here and you're raising your family. How did you connect with the Alliance?
So when I lived in San Francisco, one of my first jobs was the Family Violence Project, which had to do with domestic violence. And so I love community work. When I was in San Francisco, I was very active in community work. I was part of Samoan Solutions and parent groups and working through the church with the homeless and other things like that. So when I came to American Samoa, that's what I looked for, was a nonprofit group that helps the community.
So I know it's a very difficult subject to talk about, and especially within our community. Do you find it pretty hard to do outreach and try to have them engaged to be opened up about these issues?
Yeah, so the Alliance, our task is to bring awareness and education to the community about domestic and sexual violence. We're not a direct service provider, but we support service providers.
So, what are some of the service providers? Say, for instance, if I did come in and there is abuse amongst the LGBT community as well, where would you send us to?
And so we're also a referral place. Like if someone came into the office, we would go through our referral list and refer them. But we do work closely with DHSS, Department of Human and Social Services, the Sophias, and Catholic Social Services. So there are a few groups out there that work with domestic and sexual violence.
So, do you find that there's an increase here in American Samoa, or is it great that you're giving out these resources and educating individuals on these issues?
I've seen an increase in the reports of domestic and sexual violence. So to me, that says that we're doing our job and we're encouraging people to report. One interesting thing that I'd like to bring up that we did recently, because we work closely with the states because we're a U.S. territory. So our ED had the idea, why don't we do a comparison between the two Samoas, American Samoa and Western Samoa, or Samoa. And so we went there and we did interviews, key informant interviews, and we did key informants here, interviews here as well. And it was very interesting that we realized that there was more awareness in Samoa than here in American Samoa. And we believe that it's because they're connected to the UN, the United Nations, yeah.
So, one of the biggest influences amongst our people, of course, is the faith-based churches. Are they playing a role in doing outreach as far as educating our community here in American Samoa, or is this something that they've not wanting to talk about and just kind of leave the work to you?
In the past, we've noticed that they don't want to get involved with domestic violence or issues, or they don't want to take sides. So that's one of our jobs here at the Alliance, is to work with them and help support them in working with victims of violence.
We also want to take the opportunity to thank you for connecting us, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the radio station, KHJ, for allowing us to have our voice on there as well, not only Poly by Design and the FICA podcast, but also for Utopia, which is an LGBT organization. And it's really great to try to connect with our community, and I think that's what we're doing. This was a wellness trip for us, but we're working. So, but we love what we do here, and it also shows that you are also committed in educating our community as well. Any shout outs to the folks back home in San Francisco?
Yes, shout out to everybody, Epi, Fanga, Nani, Manufo, all the community activist people down there in San Francisco. I also want to say that and the community work that I did there in San Francisco was a big help to me when I moved here to American Samoa. So a lot of the work that I did there was actually training for here. So, yeah.
I think that's what our calling is really training ground in San Francisco and moving it here to where we can assimilate and really try to educate our community here and really just push the work forward. And you are one of the pioneers. So, 20, 30 years down the line, your name's going to come up as being one of the pioneers that has been addressing these issues. So we will. Yes, you sure can.
I just wanted to add that one thing that we're starting to do here at the Alliance is webinars. And so I have everyone's email addresses, so it's good to share information. So I'll be connecting with everyone on the webinars that we'll be doing, a lot of education. And because it's important to know what Samoans are doing in the States as well as here in American Samoa.
Can you give out your contact information for those of them who are just now running to get a pen and a piece of paper?
Yes, it's Mona Uli, MONAULI .ASADSV @gmail.com.
And is there a P.O. box that they can also contact you guys, or is that good enough, the email?
I'm sorry, I don't have it on me right now.
That's okay. So, Neo with Poly by Design and the FICA podcast, take the opportunity to get educated, check them out. Mona will be definitely telling you more about the work that they're doing. And thank you so much for tuning in. See you later.
For more information on American Samoa Alliance Against Domestic and Sexual Violence, call 684-699-0272.